Hello and welcome to the walkthrough of Revolt. Revolt is a arena shooter which tasks the player with completing 6 waves of enemies or destroying 6 waves of enemies. Like any good arena shooter or arena combat area, it doesn't spawn the player in the combat straight away, so the player spawns inside the elevator just to give them a moment to take in their environment. Same with this extra little room here before they step into the arena. It gives them a chance to actually look at the arena itself, see any paths they want to take, or any sort of important areas or cool looking areas they want to investigate first. Once we do step out this room, it will trigger the first wave and also trigger the warden to tell us what we're doing here and sort of our mission and task. So let's step out of here and see what she has to say.
Prisoner 604. Rehabilitation is nearly complete. You are so diligent. Most impressed. Praying for the foreseeable future, you'll be practicing combat trials. The survival is expected. Not guaranteed.
There we go. So we're here for some combat trials. Got lots of enemies coming for us in these waves, and we got to try and take out as many of them as possible and survive. So in wave 1 it is pretty quiet, just to not overload the player pretty much from the beginning. There's only 4 enemies in wave 1, but it introduces all the different enemy types, and the turret that was over there sort of acts as an anchor, so that the player sort of is forced to get close to at least one enemy and explore different parts of the arena. But as you see there, it is pretty easy to get trapped if you don't keep on the move. So although the open areas are good to give the player just a little bit open environment to move around in, you don't want to be moving too much. Well, you do want to be moving. You don't want to be stopping moving too much. Otherwise, you're going to get trapped pretty easily. There is these back areas as well, which will help the player sort of get away from all the enemies and all the fire from a moment. But as you can see there, when there's lots of enemies around, it's pretty easy to get trapped. So you can pretty use your mechanics to your advantage and get a height advantage. This area here specifically is designed like steps in general, so you can easily hop from the ground floor to the central floor and then also to the top floor as well. But the overall design of the room is pretty much designed to be done in a figure of 8 or a circle, so the player can just keep going around using the big walls and the different platforms that are available to them, and that will help pretty much get a lot of distance between enemies. So once you've got further enough away from them, you can plan your attack and shoot them from afar, or use the shotguns that are pretty effective up close and against multiple enemies as well. There's also plenty of resources around the map, like explosive barrels or resources for you to pick up. So let's try and find an explosive barrel. Here's one. You can lure some enemies down here, wait for them all to come, and then shoot the explosive barrel as they go by. That's a great technique to use. And exploring the map will help you find these little resources that are placed within the environment. So enemies do drop resources like ammo and armor, but you can also find them around the map in these little sneaky areas. So again, pretty easy to get uploaded. It's coming up to wave 5 now, so this is when it just gets a little bit more difficult. More enemies will start spawning, and you never have to wait until the final enemy is killed to start a next wave. The next wave will usually begin when there's like 1 or 2 enemies from the previous wave still alive, so that keeps the player on their toes and doesn't really allow them to have a break. They've really got to think about what they're doing and their next move pretty much all the time. Double explosive barrel here, do a lot of damage to that guy. You'll also find some sneaky events like this to sort of just get you out of the way of the combat for a second and get you to another part of the arena pretty quickly and sneakily. So again, you just have some distance between yourself, you can focus on your movement. In wave 6 it obviously gets as hard as it should be. That turret up there has a great view on sort of all the arena, so staying on the move and not being in the open for too long is going to be a good strategy when facing that turret. And we've also got plenty of guys chasing us, so you can hear the seekers with their beeps. You always want to be an eye out for them guys, because they can easily sneak up on you. So again, staying on the move, using the different levels of verticality. There's even levels of verticality that you wouldn't even think were possible, like up on the scaffolding of these lights as well, and on these iron girders as well. That's gonna be great to utilize to your advantage. But you don't want to stand still for too much, because then my forces are going to start hunting you down and shooting you off any perch that you might find yourself upon. And being on the ground is pretty scary, but as I said, using these open areas is a great area to take out some seekers if you do have ammo in your gun. Always keep an eye on your ammo, of course. Where'd that guy go? There we go. So plenty of movement mechanics for you to player to utilize. But as I said before, the flow of the level is perfectly designed to allow you to just flow around it, not really get caught or trapped too much unless you're not actually moving, and just sort of slowly go for an enemies if you want to. If you play it right, you can just take your time with them and take them out pretty much one by one unless they bunch up.
Whilst you've been fighting, my forces have trapped some resistance fighters. It would seem they were attempting to access our override facilities.
So there we go. Once you've killed all 6 waves of enemies, this gate will open over here, which will allow you to go through the exit. Whilst it is quiet, I can just speak about the level a little bit more. So, as I was saying the whole time, these large walls just allow you to easily flow around and use the wall running to your advantage. So if you ever need to get away from enemies, just simply hop on a wall and you can pretty much get away from them. As I mentioned, there was these steps in verticality which allow you to get a great height advantage. Same with the top of the stairs up there. It's a great height advantage over the rest of the arena, so you can really get a sense of what's going on from being in this high up position. Same again with the tower. And then using these cool moments like the angel's wings to wall run across them as well. It's another just great way to flow through the environment, get to one side if you need to, and the other side, sorry, if you need to. And then you'll have the best chance of surviving while doing that. So once you're ready, you can head out the arena. It will fade to white, and this is where we would spawn a next arena if we were to make it. So hope you enjoyed the walkthrough. Thank you very much for watching.